Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's webinar. We are sitting in the Evisys headquarters here in Vancouver, Washington. My name is Shauna Mesher. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, and to my right is Francesca Hester, Director of Client Success.
Hello, everyone.
And we also have a very, very special guest on the call with us this morning. We're so excited about. This is Allie Call, the GM of Spa Depot of Utah. Welcome, Allie.
Hey, thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning on the West Coast and good afternoon on the East Coast. We're excited about the conversation we're going to have today. Allie, you guys recently went live on Lou 8 weeks ago today, right? It's your eight week anniversary. Congratulations.
Birthday, Lou birthday.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you guys.
And we're just excited to chat with you today about your onboarding process, what the experience was like. Our team came out there to your home, your showroom, and kind of walked you through some things. So I think a fun-filled conversation today. So let's just jump right in if that's cool with you.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, we know, Allie, that the hot tub industry as a whole is pretty generational, if you will. A lot of the hot tub companies that we all know of were kind of created, and the life of the business has been owned by one person, one owner. There's not a great successor plan, if you will, in the industry. And you are in a really cool position where you're taking over your family business, which, by the way, congratulations. You're doing an incredible job. And I'm sure that that really led you to looking at ways to streamline, to grow, to kind of think about things differently than the way we've always done it kind of mentality. Not that that's a bad thing at all. It's just these owners, generational businesses, everything's in their heads. Francesca and I were chatting the other day, and you're Italian.
Yeah. Oh, yes. A blessing and a curse. Let's be real.
We were chatting about like recipes, right? And with these like old recipes that just go back generations, it's like you ask them for the recipe card and they're like, no, honey, no. I just make the stuff. Yeah. Right? But that doesn't work for us. That doesn't work for us as we're trying to take over and we're trying to, rebuild that recipe or take over that business, because we need to know where everything's at. We can't go to them and ask them all the questions. So exactly. All of that to say, you're here on Lou because of that, because you wanted to have kind of everything in one place, have visibility to everything while also being really respectful of your parents and making sure that they have clear visibility as well as the transition happens. So
and that their legacy lives on. It is a legacy, and what you're doing, they're passing on the torch to you, and that's super exciting. And I think we're just so excited to be a part of that too. So,
yeah,
for sure. Absolutely. Got to start writing down grandma's recipes as she's cooking, right? It's like the same thing. It's like, get your business binder out and start writing them down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get all the processes in somewhere where everybody else can follow. I love it. So walk us through, Allie, just 30,000 foot view. How was your onboarding experience? What was it like to kind of go onto Lou?
There's definitely challenges with being able to have, you guys and your team be able to come on site and do everything and have the prep work behind it. It was just phenomenal. Without that, the transition wouldn't have been nearly as smooth, or we wouldn't have been able to set it up properly. So
yeah,
that was awesome.
That's awesome. That's great. And just a note for everybody watching, Allie said we came on site and that was helpful. At Evisys, just as we have this conversation, it's helpful for you all to know we have two types of consulting. We have what you all would imagine is software consulting, where we can either be virtual or come out to your business and we can get you up and running on the software. If you're already running on the software, we can teach you how to use the features in depth. We can walk you through the ins and outs of the software with Evisys Pros. And then we have a secondary option, which is business consulting. And business consulting is a bit different. Business consulting consists of people within these four walls of Evisys who have some decades of industry experience coming out to your business to walk you through best practices, taking a look at how you do things now, helping come up with new options, better ways to do things. A lot of the business consulting also is, here's a process, and then, oh, by the way, Lou would help you achieve this process, like reoccurring orders. How do we actually maximize those sorts of things? So
how do we get Lou to work hard for you and not the other way around?
For sure. Yeah, we say that all the time. And so for all of you guys watching and present on this webinar today, Allie's team at Spa Depot opted for both. So she had a total of 7 days. A lot of our team, 5 or 6 people total on site in their business. Yeah, including Francesca from the business consulting side of things, did a lot of sales training.
Ops. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all of it. So we're going to talk a bit about that today, but just so you guys know as we talk, those are the 2 options that we have. So with all of that being said, Allie, tell us about your on-site experience. Walk us through. Team shows up, guns a-blazing. They're like, we're ready to go. Let's get you live. How did your team take all of it? Were people receptive? And just how did the week go?
I can't say enough good about my team as far as being receptive to, working and learning with your team, and really kind of feel like we kind of created a family in that week, honestly. Like we were driving up from Salt Lake one night after everybody at Lou had left, and it was like, oh, that's they're staying. Oh, they're gone. Like it was kind of this funny, like it really did become like a family kind of experience, or really great teamwork. With everybody that was here, we were able to say, all right, this department's working with Francesca, this department's working with Steve, those kinds of things, and really get everything up and running. And then we had Evan and Emily as well that could kind of help kick in and do some of the setup work that we didn't maybe know that we needed or hadn't had time to get through. It was just great. Really, really helpful.
Good. That's so insightful for you, especially the way that you kind of paint that picture of, Francesca and Steve were doing some like business consulting with your team, teaching best practices. And then we had Evan and Emily, who are Evisys pros, really helping you guys with the setup and the product. Would you say, had there not been people with industry experience on site, would you say the experience would have been the same? Would it have been different? What were your thoughts?
Yeah. As we're all going through this and moving through this, and where we're coming to a transition at some point with, taking over kind of that legacy, the industry knowledge and things that were brought, this is my first time through this. I've never owned a business, 30 years old, and this industry, it really is something where we so can benefit from learning from somebody who has been involved in it, and such a legend in the industry as well. Like it's really immeasurable, that knowledge coming in. It was so helpful and so beneficial for me and for us, for our team.
And I think too, from our perspective, that was so special about you guys as a client. And I do consider you guys family. So I'd swear to even say that you're a client because you're just in our circle now. But is that you guys gave so much flexibility. You were so open to saying like, our processes are old. They're from our family. These were our parents. They built this from the ground up. And like, with your willingness and being able to be open-minded to say like, what would you guys suggest? What would be the best process to do this specific thing in Lou? And that's like where the magic for us happened too, because it's such a partnership. And so being able to have you guys so receptive to being like, yeah, we're open, like whatever works, like we are willing to change. It is new software, like just realizing that maybe some of your old processes weren't going to serve you well in the new program. So I just want to say thank you, because that is what made this partnership so special, and why I felt like it was a really, really successful. And just hearing your feedback too, just shows us that together we can do so much better than apart. And so I just want to say thank you, Allie, for sure, because it's been a great experience. Absolutely. Yeah.
And to kind of add to that, something that I didn't realize until recently is the fact that, in the hot tub industry, hearth industry, billiards, whatever, any of these specialty retailers that we serve at Evisys, you guys only have a small visibility to other companies. There's not a lot of companies that allow you to come in and get a look behind the glass unless you're part of these kind of VIP groups that are becoming. At Evisys, we have visibility to 600 companies. We see the ins and outs of how tons of companies operate and run. And so we know, like, these are the companies that are successful and they have all of these similarities. They all follow kind of this best practice, and we can bring that into other companies and help. We've just seen people make mistakes, and we don't want others to make those same mistakes. So it's really powerful, the fact that we can share a lot of insight with you guys.
And vice versa. Like we learn so much from being on site as well, because I believe that our product, right, is only as good as it serves our clients. And so being able to see it in a live showroom, to be on site with you guys, to see the challenges that you're going to face. Listen, it's software, stuff happens, right? But, again, you guys were so willing to just like work with us and what all we want is to be helpful. And that's why I think the consulting is is just a great way to be able to do that. It's a great solution. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Spot on. Yeah.
Allie, I do have a kind of one-off weird question for you. Something nobody ever wants to talk about money. Nobody
I'm leaving.
I'll put it all out on the table. That's just me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm curious, when you guys got the quote for consulting, it wasn't a tiny number. What was your initial reaction? Did you have to get buy-in? Was it just like a yes, here's the check? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, an interesting process where, I was kind of the driving force behind, hey, we need to change. We need to get onto a different program that's scalable. We're maxed out where we are. We can't grow with this. We can't, do anything. So I was kind of working back and forth to grab that quote and had to, kind of pitch it to, my parents or the owners and say, hey, I think this is a really great investment. You can't see it as just a purchase. This isn't a one and done kind of a thing. There's we'd worked together for so long before that to get to that point, to that on-site quote. But really going at it, it's not a little number, but the value that you get for that, or that we got for that, was immeasurable. I mean, it really, really helped change so much. And then the business consulting on top of it, that's huge. And knowing that, we can reach out and say, hey, we're having an issue with this. And it's not just going into an inbox where you get, okay, your ticket's been created, we'll get back to you, when. No, that's not that's not yeah, that's not at all how it goes. It's been really, really neat to be able to get, a live answer when we need it, and also be able to go back and say, hey, I know we talked about this, but this is, I don't get this. Can we walk back through it? And having somebody that's willing and so kind to take the time and help us get to where we need to be has just been phenomenal. So yeah, it's a big number, but it's a massive investment into your company and into your future. That's truly believe that.
That's so well said. That's awesome. What a testament. Thanks, Allie. And you kind of touched on it, but I'm just curious, the support after the fact, right? The onboarding experience was like 5 weeks, then they came on site for a week. Do you feel supported after the fact? Do you feel like you have the right people to go to? What's that been like?
100%. Not only for the software knowledge, but even industry knowledge and kind of that business support on both sides. Any question that any one of my team has come up with, we've worked together in a timely fashion within, usually less than a day, to find either a solution or find the training if it wasn't on, lose support. That support is so huge, and it is there after the fact. It's not all right, now there's this investment paid and all right, we're done. It's continued support. I look forward.
I'm ready to get on a plane again. Are you ready?
I know. Maybe in the summer. We'll come out in the summer when there's not 10 feet of snow on the ground
in Utah.
Yeah.
And
no
also, Allie, like, you have to give yourself and your team a ton of credit too, because even though, yes, obviously we want to support you after the fact and we want to do all of that, like you guys dive so deep into things as well, even prior to reaching out. Sometimes you're like, we've tried this, we've done that, we've done this. And like, again, just thank you, because the more information you can give us and the more that you tell us, the more that we can be helpful. And like your team always like is right there diving into it, looking into it. And we love that because it pushes us to be better too.
Sure.
And that's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like, whoa, nobody's ever done it that way before. That's so interesting. Let's figure that out. And as Lou grows up and scales and grows and we get these, you know, very large companies like yourself onto Lou, we're learning all the time. So that's really cool. Last question that I have for you, Allie. If you could give one tip to somebody coming live on Lou, what would it be?
Good question.
Oh gosh. You know,
no pressure.
Be prepared. This is let me prep for. No, I'm just kidding. You know, be prepared to grow with the program. It's not. You were kind of talking about cooking and recipes and just that real like tribal knowledge that kind of comes from specifically this industry, but you know, there hasn't ever been really like a written practice or procedure for this. You're going to have to make those decisions and make those changes, and they are so good. That is the best thing. So look forward to that, but you know, evaluate kind of what your practices are beforehand and say, all right, that's not as efficient as it could be. Let's see if we can find a way to work with this program to maximize that. That's probably my best piece of advice, is be willing to grow. If you're not willing to grow or change, you're not going to be able to grow in general. And that's part of growing with this program as well. You know, new releases come out and new things happen, and it's a really cool thing to be a part of. Don't feel like you have to jump into every part of the software right off the bat. I can tell you that we haven't. Keeping things simple has been really, really beneficial. Now that we're, you know, 2 months in, as of today, we're starting to, you know, kind of break down kits a little bit more, break down some of the mobile functionality a little bit more, and diving into that. But, you know, I think Steve kind of, and Francesca kind of said it best when you guys were here. Like, we know what we do. We know what we do, and we do it well. We've had systems in place for a long time. Hey, let's get this up and running, and then be, you know, integrating more of the software into our practices as we become familiar with it. Don't overwhelm yourself.
That's such a great point, because onboarding should be in phases. You know, it's not like, okay, yes, we use the term like you're live, but that doesn't necessarily mean like you're live, right? Like you built it in phases, you listened, and you did keep it really simple. And, you know, it's kind of nice to get your infrastructure stable and like everyone executing on the same level, and then say like, okay, yeah, we're ready to look at that next feature. We're ready to build that out. But that was like so gracious on your part to just say like, we don't have to do it all at once. It doesn't all have to work today. We just need a good basic foundation to build off of. So 2 months later, it is really cool to hear that you've kind of done that and are now starting to implement and use the software a bit more, which is exactly how it should be.
It is. And it's like anything else in life. I use analogies for everything because it just works in my head. But it's like when you try to change your life from like to like non-toxic, if you will, right? You're not going to go throw away all your Tupperware, all of your plates, your whole cabinet, your whole refrigerator, and buy all new. Yeah, like all my plastic is getting thrown out today. Like, that's not realistic. That's never going to work unless you're a millionaire and you can just afford to do that. But it's the same thing with Lou. Like, let's start with the most important thing right now, and then let's identify like this would be a real game changer. Let's implement this next and layer on, and then in a year you probably are using the entire program more than anybody can imagine, and there was less resistance. People were really excited to jump on board because you weren't changing their entire job and expecting them to be perfect at it, you know, the next day. So it's really smart.
Definitely. Another thing that I'd probably add to that is choose a couple people that are going to be your experts in this program. You know, have them really integrated into the setup and the functionality behind this. Like, with when we were on legacy, and we had one person that was really kind of like the guru of, everything there. And um, when that person left our company, it was everybody kind of like, whoa, wait, we don't know what we're doing. So we had to kind of retrain somebody, and not for the turnover fact, but for people to be able to go ask multiple different people retain different information, people are able to find things differently, and being able to go back and play like in the sandbox company, or the fake company that's there, that we can go, all right, what is this change actually going to do? That was kind of where my team is able to dig into things a little bit deeper. And it's not just that, like, all right, there's nothing on this, we can't figure it out, like we need to make a call. Like, they are very resourceful. I never thought that I'd be kind of like an expert in our software by any means, and it's really, really neat to know that I can answer most questions that come to me just from the support, the training, and the experience here. So thank you guys very much.
So empowering.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, to have the champion. And it's so nice that you were willing to put in that work. I mean, we know it's not easy. We know there's a lot to learn, and we know that there's roadblocks. We're not going to sit here and say we're perfect, far from it, right? But it's that partnership, it's that willingness to work together.
Yeah.
That was so magical. And being in your showroom, which is absolutely stunning. You guys are so cutting edge. I mean, just look behind you, right? I mean, I've been in a lot of hot tub stores over the years, and you guys took the experience of selling hot tubs and you took it to that next level. You can bring your clients back there and they can soak, and it's just like, it's so beautiful. And it just shows, it's a testament to you guys that like you want to grow, you want to be better, like you want to prove it right. And like that just aligns so well with us. And again, it's just been such a phenomenal partnership. We just can't thank you enough.
For sure. Yeah. Before we kind of
mutual. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Before we wrap things up, we do have Kim on the line as a panelist. Do we have any questions?
You might have alluded to this a little bit already, but Allie, was there anything you felt like you needed to do prior to the consulting team coming on site to prepare for that?
Yeah, so when you go to set up with Lou, you get all the different modules, and I'm probably not going to use the right terms here, but when you go through the setup, yeah, not a software person, I'm a hot tub person, right? Anyway, when you go through that process, you have that kind of weekly onboarding meeting with your account specialists and everything, where you can go through and ask different questions on how to set things up, and the making sure that you have just as much possible done through those things. We had questions. It's our first time kind of through this, and especially jumping on the accounting side as well. Going through those things and knowing exactly what your questions are beforehand, before having everybody come on site, I think is probably one of the most beneficial things. And then before they came out on site, we did have a meeting of, okay, what are the things that we really need to help you with as far as setup goes? What are the things that you have questions on as far as, setting up and training and the processes behind it? Just knowing your company and where you kind of stand with your processes, and knowing that things are going to need to change, but not being kind of afraid of that. I think those are kind of the three key things that I'd really recommend to anybody looking to transfer over. And again, the support is just phenomenal behind that of, hey, we can do that this way, we can do that this way. What's your process? Let's figure out a way that this can work for you, or, vice versa. It was really cool, but knowing those things through and through is really important.
That's so great.
Great answer. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, I think we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot. We really appreciate you, Allie, taking the time out of your day to chat with us. Again, being receptive to our feedback and our suggestions, and really just entrusting your company with Lou. It means a lot. We know that it's a really big decision. big decision to change softwares and put your entire company on one platform. So we just appreciate you and your company so
And
much.
trusting us and trusting us through the process. I mean,
Mhm.
that's huge. And keep pushing us, keep calling us, I love getting your texts, like push us to be better. We want to be better for you. And that's so cool too about the Loop platform, is it is cloud-based, right? So we can make things better, faster than we could in the past. So
For sure.
fast is never fast enough, but we're always working on it. So keep the questions flowing. We want to support you for forever. We're a family and you're part of our family. So thank you so much.
We feel the same, and if there's anything that I can do to help, anybody on your side, please let us know. We're happy
Ship me a hot
to
tub.
extend knowledge either way. Perfect. Yes. Let's
You
do
have
it.
one. You're fine. Oh gosh. Well, yes. Thank you so much, Allie. Again, for everybody watching, if you're interested or have questions, want an estimate on consulting, whether you're on, this goes for our Lou clients, our legacy clients, and then anybody interested in going live on Lou, just shoot us a message on our contact us page, fill out the form, we'll reach right out to you, and we'll get you connected with probably myself or Francesca to get that conversation started. Again, thank you, Allie, so much, and we will see everybody on next month's webinar. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.